Like most other things, there are two sides to the economic revival story. On the one side is the good news that the revival now seems real. While the country seems to be coping well with the after effects of the coronavirus pandemic, going by what Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said, the recovery may have started in the April-June quarter itself. Now let's also talk about the other side, the not so good side. Let's examine if and how the recovery is impacting the Indian middle class. An implication of the economy gradually getting back on track is that there could be a drastic reduction in job losses. Salaries and wages are also likely to be restored after initial rounds of pay cuts. This would put more money in the hands of the consumer and boost spending in the long run. But as the Indian economy gradually opens up, it is the middle class that is faced with higher prices, isn't it? Just think about your petrol and mobile bills. You would have received your LPG price hike notification too. Don't fret, we don't want you to panic. This is just a reality check with facts and numbers. Some of the most critical elements of daily expenses have gone through the roof, and the chief among them is fuel price. With petrol and diesel crossing 100 rupees per litre mark in several cities, there is a chain reaction pushing up prices of food and clothing across the board. Another big blow comes from air travel, as the government has eased caps on ticket pricing. The Civil Aviation Ministry recently raised the lower as well as the upper caps on airfares by 9.83 to 12.82%. As a result, flying within the country also got costlier. The lower caps were imposed to help the airlines that were struggling due to the effects of coronavirus-related travel restrictions. The upper caps were imposed so that passengers were not charged huge amounts when the demand for seats was high. Let's compare the old and new fares. Similarly, all the other categories, those with durations between 60 to 90 minutes, 90 to 120 minutes, 120 to 150 minutes, 150 to 180 minutes, and 180 to 210 minutes, also saw a significant jump in airfares, burning a big hole in the passenger's pocket. Now let's come to cooking gas. Do you know that the LPG prices have increased by Rs 165 per cylinder since January? Yes, you heard it right. In August, the price of cooking gas was increased by Rs 25 per cylinder, and in July, the LPG cylinder rates were hiked by Rs 25.5. If the trend for the 2 months are taken into account, a hike in September might be on the cards too. Now, the festive season is around the corner and perhaps you are planning to buy a new car. If yes, then there is bad news on this front as well. Yes, the common man's car is set to get costlier. The country's largest automaker, Maruti Suzuki, has announced a price hike across models from September 2021, making it the fourth such increase this year. While the hike was minimal in the last 3 rounds, this one could be steeper, pushed by an exponential increase in prices of raw materials like steel and copper. Maruti's move is likely to be followed by other companies. Tata Motors had raised the price of its commercial vehicles in April and July, while it raised rates of its passenger vehicles by 1.8% in May. The latest round of hike may dampen sales during the third quarter, which is the festive season, when auto companies sell the highest number of cars and two-wheelers. Now, if you think that was all from our side, let us give you one more surprise. Bharti Airtel founder and chairman Sunil Mittal has said that mobile tariffs need to go up significantly in order for it to be viable for telecom companies. Telcos are loaded with debt, and then there are hefty adjusted gross revenue dues or AGR dues and spectrum payments. And they are looking for some sort of cushion to sail through this crisis. Mittal highlighted the need to increase the tariff by as much as 33% by the end of this year and to double from existing level eventually. Though it's not clear if Airtel will wait for Vodafone Idea or Reliance Jio to hike tariffs or take the lead this time around. All said and done, revival is something most Indians would be, or at least should be, looking forward to. It brings about socio-economic stability. But what about the super hike in daily expenses that comes along? Think about it.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.